Hi there, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're not new here. My name is Gina and today I have a Sézane knitwear haul. I am so excited. If you've been around my channel for a little while, you know that I really love Sézane, but my favorite category of Sézane clothing, it's definitely their knitwear. I'm actually in honor of this video wearing one of my favorite jumpers. This is the Sami Jumper. I have this in 2 colors. I used to have it in 3 colors, but one of the colors didn't quite suit me, so I sold that. But yes, I absolutely love so many of their pieces. There's a few that I purchase and repurchase. And so today I wanted to do a fall 2025 knitwear review. I think all of the pieces that I purchased are new actually. I think they're all new styles. You can check me on that a little bit later. So I have this massive box. This is probably the largest Sézane order I've ever done all at once, I want to say. I hope at least, because I spent $1,000 on Sézane knitwear. I'm really hoping I don't love all of it, because one, I don't have that much space in my sweater collection where I store all of my sweaters, and 2, I should not be spending that much money on sweaters. But I do truly love them. And I've only purchased things that are 100% natural fibers, which is kind of hard with Sézane knitwear. They love to blend all of that plastic in there. And they usually have a little bit of acetate, or actually not even acetate, a little bit of polyamide blended in, which I do not purchase. Even if I love the piece, I will not bring that into my wardrobe. So all 100% natural fiber knitwear. I have a lot to get through and I want to do try-ons of all the pieces, so let's just jump right into it. The first set of pieces, it comes in this really beautiful packaging this time around, and I did get a free tote bag. I'll show you that. I think it's at the bottom of my box, so I'll show you that at the end. But this is such pretty, just really pretty wrapping paper. I always enjoy that, and I try to preserve my wrapping paper so I can reuse it, but this one actually is already ripped. So you get a little sneak peek of the color story that I chose. And then I have a couple more pieces here. So all together you can see I really went earth tone, and yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, where to start? And for good measure, this is the tote bag that came with my order. I don't really turn down the tote bags. I always say that I will because I've accumulated quite a few, but I always find a use for them. And currently what I use these tote bags for is keeping all of my sheet sets together. So I'll like put all the like ones together and then put them in a tote bag and store them in the closet. So it's easy when I change my sheets. So if you're looking for a use for your tote bags, there you go. Okay, I realize this is gonna get warm very quickly, so I pulled my hair back. So the first piece that I ordered is one that actually didn't come out just this past weekend. It came out a little bit before and I had been eyeing it. And it's called the Claudio Jumper. And I got it, you can guess, in the beautiful olive green color. And so it's actually, I wore this Sami jumper intentionally because I felt like this was very similar, and I know they had the Sami and the Nael set in this color, and I always wanted it, but I said, oh, this green is too close, so I can't get like the same sweater in this color. But this Claudio jumper is very different. It's a V-neck, which I don't have a lot of V-neck sweaters. And I also really love this nice like collar detail back here. I want to make sure that it's functional and it doesn't like irritate me, but I got this in a size medium, and I just thought that this like more boxy style will really go nicely, and it's a color that I'm gonna want to pick up over and over again. So that is the Sami, or no, that is the Claudio. Okay, so here we are with the try-on. Sorry, the lighting is a little bit different because it got a little dark sooner than I expected. Hello, fall. And so I put on a brighter light, and so you can see the color a little bit better and the details of the pieces a little bit better. This is the Claudio. I have to say, I do not like this on me. I was really expecting to love it, and I don't like it at all. I like the color. I think the color is really beautiful. I do not like this V-neck style, and maybe that is why I don't have any V-necks in my sweater collection. I also don't love how the bottom like ribbing comes in. I think I could only wear this tucked in, and I also don't love that the sleeves are so wide that I can't push them up and they will hold. I'll show you in a moment, but I really like to be able to push my sweaters up, especially when I'm warm, and this just won't work. So this is a no for me. And just so you know, this is a blend of cotton and merino wool. And so this is 47% cotton and 53% merino wool. It's one of my favorite blends from Sézane. I find that this blend, when they knit it in a rib especially, it is just very sturdy. It's very warm. It washes really, really nicely. And it just looks very high-end and beautiful. So love this. I really love the merino cotton, like organic cotton blend that they do in their knits. So that's the first piece. The next piece is 100% yak wool. This is another new style. And this one is called the Lisa cardigan. And I really loved it immediately. This is a very classic colored cardigan. The color is getting very washed out, so I'll insert a picture, but this is their perfect green color. And this one I believe is 100% yak wool. And I got 2 yak wool sweaters last year, and I really, really liked them. They were a much thicker knit than this one. This one is much more lightweight and thin, so I'm not totally sure if I'm gonna love it as much. It definitely isn't as it looks almost a little bit felted, and it isn't as pretty as the merinos look. So I'm pretty partial to the merino knits, but I'm excited to try this on, and I'm very excited about this color cardigan in particular because I sold my Betty cardigan recently in the perfect green color. I realized I was keeping that because I loved that color so much, but the fit of the Betty on me, while it was pretty cute, especially postpartum, I loved it. I could easily unbutton it. It was great for my body. My body has shifted a little bit, the proportions, and I don't think I like that cropped sweater look as much on me anymore unless it's more fitted. I don't know if the boxy style is still my favorite. And I was always a little bit nervous that that style of cardigan was a little bit too preppy for me or too ladylike. And so, yeah, I'd always been a little bit on the fence, but I loved the colors and I really loved the construction and thought they were pretty and they made me look very polished. So yeah, I went with it. But recently I finally sold those on because I just wasn't reaching for them. I didn't see myself reaching for them. So I got rid of both my nutmeg and my perfect green. So I'm excited to add another perfect green knit back to my wardrobe, and hopefully this will be it. Okay, the next piece is called the Eli scarf, and I was so on the fence about purchasing this. So this is a wool scarf, and it's also yak wool, 100% wool. It's a triangle scarf, and it's 115 US dollars, I want to say, on the website. And I was like, that is a lot of money for a scarf, Gina, especially if it's not cashmere or something like that. Although their yak wool is supposed to be comparable, but I don't know about that just yet. But yeah, I just really liked the style and I'm so excited to try and style it. I told myself, I was like, oh, I could knit this. I could totally knit one of these myself. Absolutely I could. But then I said, will I knit this? And is it worth $115 for me? And I'm like, maybe. This could be my go-to scarf. I don't have a lot of them because I live in LA, but I do need at least one really solid one every season. And so this might be my go-to. And I feel like because it is a triangle scarf, I do think that maybe I will wear it through the spring a little bit more. It won't feel as bulky as a really big, thick scarf. So I'm excited to try it. Just on first impressions, I love the knit. I love how thick this is. It's just a very simple, basic knit, but I like how thick it is. Compared to this yak wool Lisa cardigan, it's much thicker, and I'm thinking I might not like the fine knit quite as much as I like the yak thicker knit. So I kind of like that chunky, hefty feeling of the yak wool with the thick knit. So anyway, very excited to try this. I really thought that this blue might go nicely with my Clyde trench coat, the plaid one that I just got. And so I'm hoping that it's a nice kind of complementary contrast to that jacket. The next item was really a risk for me. This is the Larry jumper or the Larry vest, and it's one of the more fuzzy knits that Sézane does. I think this one is blended with mohair, which I almost always stay very far away. Yes, this is 55% kid mohair, and then this is 45% merino wool. And the kid mohair just makes me nervous because I don't like shedding and I just don't want to find it all over my furniture, all over my other clothes. But I could not resist the chunkiness of this knit and also the color. The color is called bronze. And I was just like, I think I love this. I don't wear a lot of yellow, but I do love this bronzy, almost olive greeny yellow. So I think that this might be a really nice like pop, especially with my darker outfits throughout the winter, like wearing a lot of black and chocolate brown and navy. I think this would go so beautifully and be a nice pop underneath darker jackets, things like that. Even just monochrome outfits, and then this as a statement. I'm very, very attracted to that idea. And I also liked how wide this armhole was on the model. So I'm really hoping that this fits well and kind of converts me over to kid mohair, because I don't have any textures like this in my wardrobe, that's for sure. So loving the chunkiness of this. I love how soft and squishy this feels. I think it might be a little delicate to wash, honestly, just feeling how loose this knit kind of looks already in the light. You see that? I find that I have to be a little bit more conscientious when it's a looser knit, not to stretch it out when I hand wash it. So we shall see. I don't wash my knits very often anyway, but you know, just in case. So I'm very excited to try this. All right, and the last piece is the Dylan jumper. And let me get this tag tucked in this beautiful natural beige. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with this kind of color for the fall. It just feels so earthy and homey and classic and yet neutral. I don't know, I just really love a nice like browny beige, like mottled kind of color. And so this one is 100% yak wool also. It reminds me a lot of the Lauren jumper and the other yak wool jumper that I got last year in the black and in the gray, but then this is like a warm brown tone version. It has a really nice ribbed cuff, and it's got that square sleeve like the other two do. And then it also has a really nice wide cuff at the bottom. And honestly, this feels a little bit smoother and softer than I remember my Lauren jumper being. I'm going to pull those out so I can do a little bit of compare and contrast, but I really like the shape of this. I do love a boxy sweater. I like something I can just put a t-shirt under, and this is like a statement on its own. And then I also really, really love the buttons on the sleeve. Like, as you can see, I'm a big fan on the Sami jumper. I feel like this is the fitted, more stretchy version of this, and this is like the chunky, heftier version. And so I really think that's just so beautiful. So super excited for this. I feel like this one, because the only risk I felt I was taking by getting this was like, if the brown wasn't the right shade of brown. If you've watched my other videos, you know I have a thing about my tones of brown that I wear. But this is much more of a cooler tone, but cool to the neutral side. It's not too warm, and it doesn't feel like too gray or too bluish. So I really am liking this on first sight. I hope the fit is as good as it looks here. Okay, now you've seen all of the pieces on. There's a lot of hit or miss, I think, with fit this year. I'm not totally sure. Let me know in the comments which pieces you really loved and which ones you aren't, that you're kind of on the fence about. I'm on the fence probably about almost everything except this piece. This I'm so surprised I like so much, so I'm gonna play with this. I'm wearing a t-shirt under it. I'm gonna try a couple of other layering things too. And then I think I'm gonna try all the pieces on again and see if I like them with different pants and things like that. But let me know in the comments which pieces you really like or you really think are good investments. And also, if you got anything from the collection that you highly recommend, please let me know. Yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.